Picture two coaches. Number one has a $150 per month offer. They get decent results and they don't really love working with the clients that they have. A lot of the clients burn them out. Coach number two sells coaching at $500 per month. They have crazy results with most of their clients and they only coach people that they truly love working with, spending less time and energy per client. My name is Vegard. I've gone from 5 to 60 clients in under 6 months, getting to 15K per month consistently, and in recent months we've done more than 30K per month. And I've been both of these coaches, and truth is you can coach only your dream client at a lot higher price without working more hours, having the craziest deliverables or any of that. It all comes down to the things I'm gonna walk through in this video, so you could just copy what I have done myself. Now this is the numbers from my business, just so you know that I actually have done what I am speaking about. The first month when we figured this out, this is one of the things that we figured out of multiple. Then we hit 2.5K. Then in February, 3 months later, we hit 10K. Then 5 months later, we hit 15K. Then between July 24, July 25, we hit around 15K average with 180K collected. And in one day of October 25, we hit 16K in a single day. This is dollars, by the way, all of this. And then 23K in May of 26 in just a week. So the problem for most coaches is that they get only low-paying clients and barely survive. They have to strive for actually surviving in their business, or they have to coach a crazy amount of clients. Like they do the math and they have to have like 70 clients, 75 clients to do okay big numbers before expenses and live a truly free life. And they're afraid to increase the prices and charge more because people wouldn't accept that. They would have to have a crazy product, right? Spend a ton of time. They think a more expensive product needs more deliverables or more time spent, when that's not really the truth. And I have been there myself. I was scared to increase my price from $180 to $220 per month, adding the craziest deliverables just to make it work, thinking I had to increase it very slowly, like do a jump of $20 per year at most. I spent hours delivering to each and every client that I had, and I still was scared to increase the price, and I accepted anyone into my coaching. I literally said yes to basically everyone, but I was so wrong in what I was doing. When I got the things that I'm about to show you in place, I was able to charge $450 instead per month. I work with the clients I actually want to work with. I spend less than 20 minutes per client per week, not per month, that's wrong, per week, and I create better results than ever before. My clients have crazier results than ever. And if you stick to the end, I'll have a special offer for you. So the first thing we need to get in place is getting clear on your dream client. Now, look at this as having a fire hose. You have your dream clients. When you hit them hard enough, they're gonna buy. Okay? So here are the potential clients. But if you're not super clear on your dream client, what's gonna happen is that instead of being a beam, a solid beam hitting the client, because your content speaks to everyone, it's going to look like this. Some water is going to hit your client, but most is not your lead, your lead. And the person is not going to convert, okay? They're not going to feel hit by your content, okay? So they're not even going to feel it. It's going to be a mist that hits them. Then say you have a bit of control, like you're speaking vaguely to the same thing in every single content piece. Like this is where a lot of coaches are doing content very blindly to who they speak to, more random content about their life, etc. But say you create content to give value out, but you're not super clear on who you're giving it to. It's going to be more like this, okay? And you have the person again. They're going to feel a bit more targeted, but not enough that most are going to end up as buyers, okay? But when you are super clear, what's going to happen? You of course see where this is going. The fire hose is going to fire straight forward, right at the potential clients. And they are going to feel hit with every single content piece you do and end up as buyers. Now, this is very important. You want your profile, stories, highlights, content pieces. Every single content piece, you want your ads. All of this should in some sort of way, relate to your dream clients. All of it, all the time. Now, the question would of course arise, how do I truly figure out who my dream client is? How do I figure out who I should sell to? Like, how do I figure that out? I'm going to get to that. But first, it's very important to understand that all of these things are going to have to hit them every single time. And this is also going to repel anyone else. People that are not your dream clients, they're not going to feel hit. They're not going to be hit by the fire hose, okay? So you are going to attract the 5% market you're looking for and repel 95% of other people. But if you spoke to everyone, 100% of people would just be repelled. Like, you wouldn't repel people, but nobody would be interested enough to buy. Or everyone would buy if you had a low enough price, okay? So if you sell on a low price, you can sell to anyone. Like, anyone would buy like a Coca-Cola. That's not a problem. But if you sold like water for $200 per bottle, you would repel most people. Most people would think that's fucking stupid. But you would have like a 1% that would spend that $200, right? And those would love that water. So that's the thing that's very important to understand first. Now, how do we actually figure out who our dream client is so we can market towards them? So we can make every single content piece relate to that exact person. I want you to look at your timeline. So figure out where you were stuck. Which places in your journey, your weight loss journey, your strength journey, whatever you have done, where in your journey did you get stuck? Where did things stop? Find those points first. Then I want you to look at which of these you want to help. Which of these areas do you want to help? So for example, I'm creating this video on how to get out of around the 3 to 6K mark, right? And I've been stuck there myself, around that, under that, but I've been stuck in the same area. It's the exact same steps that has to be taken. So that's why I help that area. That's the area I feel most intrigued to actually help. Now, I chose that area. And then you look at how you solved it. So the steps on how you solved it, step 1, step 2, step 3, and you find, so here you, by the way, you know who, that's who, and then you look at how, the steps. So to figure out who you were in this area, you're going to ask yourself some questions. How did you feel when you were stuck there? What were your biggest problems? What were your biggest fears? What were your goals at that time? What was most important to you? Find the 3 biggest problems, the 3 biggest goals. Figure out which videos you looked at, which creators you looked at, which topics. You want to answer all of these different questions and write them down. Like, do a proper write down. Don't use Claude and ChatGPT for this. If you do that, you're not gonna get clear on anything. This has to come from you. This is gonna make it very clear who you want to help. Very clear what you need to speak about in your marketing to have that fire hose every single time you post something. And then the how. Look at how you actually solved it. So again, step 1, 2, 3, and figure out a way to package it. So you have your steps. Make it unique, okay? Now, when you have this in place, then you're going to speak directly to them in your marketing again and again. And the way you do this is with, for example, your stories. You could post something that gives them direct value. So you speak directly to their pain points. Say they want to lose weight. Okay, here are the 3 biggest mistakes I see busy women make when they want to lose weight and how to fix them. That's a way to speak about it. You can show them your lifestyle. You can show them the lifestyle where you have lost weight and where you're training and where you're still eating out with your family and going on dinners with your friends. That's the dream life. Show them the dream life you are living that they want to live. Or if you have a different customer group, that's not exactly you. It could also be that you could get clear on your story and still coach a different demographic. You don't have to be a mom to coach moms. But then you show your clients' lifestyle instead. You could show parts of your lifestyle that they can relate to, and you can show your clients' lifestyle. And you could show results, credibility. This you can do in your reels, you can do it in your stories. So stories, reels, you could do it in your long form, you could do it like every single, all across. Now, what's very important is that when you again and again speak to their pain, somehow their pain point, this is very interesting actually. You should always try to speak to some sort of pain point, no matter which of these are happening. Showing your dream life, what's that going to do? They're going to compare their situation to where you are and look at you as an authority. Showing your clients' results, again, where were they before? They can relate to the pain and they can relate to the goal. Showing value. Okay, I have to test this now to get out of the pain I'm in. You always speak to their pain. So get very clear on the 3 biggest pain points that your dream client has. And when you are clear on that, I want you to create a pain point tree. And the pain point tree is going to be pain point 1, pain point 2, pain point 3, and you're going to have topics underneath that. So say pain point 1 is looking better. Then topic 1 could be losing weight, topic 2 could be gaining muscle, and topic 3 could be something completely different. And then you create 3 subtopics on all of these. So you're going to have 39 topics. 39 different topics you can test. And the ones that does the best, you keep reusing. You keep using them again, okay? Now, when you speak to the same pain point every time, what's going to happen is that you move the client down what I call the conveyor belt, the assembly line. So a new follower comes in. Let me just clear this out. A new follower comes in, then you move them down a conveyor belt, and you have workers here, quality ensuring, everything. And the leads that are completely wrong, they're disqualified, basically. Because your content speaks to a specific pain, a specific goal. The people that doesn't fit that, again, they're repelled. Your workers, throw them out. But the people that can relate, you just build more and more trust with, until they get to the end, where you, of course, have your DMs, your sales process, and you put them in boxes. I have a different video on that. Now, that's how it works. And there's one more important thing to build trust and speaking directly to your dream client in your marketing, being able to charge more as well. You remember the solution. So the steps, the unique mechanism that you have to repeat this. If you keep changing how you would solve the situation all the time, 1 week you speak about, oh, you should be in have a plan that fits your life. The next week you start speaking about you should get your hormones checked. The next week you start speaking about, okay, but the most important thing is eating satiating food. That's it. If you keep swapping the method, the main method, people are just going to lose trust because you keep swapping. They have to hear it again and again and again. And I want you to look at this like a battery. When they're a new follower, they're at 0%. When they buy, they're at 100%. Every time you repeat your unique method, so the 3 steps branded into a unique method, when you repeat that again and again in your content as the solution, somehow as the solution to whatever your clients has done, to whatever your lifestyle is, to whatever the value you're giving, to whatever the education, like the reframing, the myth busting, whatever content piece you do, whenever you repeat yourself, it gains 1 to 3%. Okay? So for every single story, every single content piece, 1 to 3% until you get to the end. But if you swap one single time, everyone that were almost ready to buy drops straight back to the beginning. And you lose them, basically. You have to warm them up all the way over again. And the big mistake that coaches make here is that they think they have repeated themselves too many times. When they've said almost the same thing, that maybe they used the same topic or said the same thing like 10 times. They're like, oh, I'm bored of this now. People have heard it too much. It's not performing. I'm not getting clients. You literally just have to get to like 30 times. And at 30 to 100 times, 30%, 30 times, what happens? People buy. That's where people buy, as I mentioned. You have to get to that point. When you're bored of what you have been repeating, so your solution, for example, having a plan that perfectly fits your life so you can eat out and be with your family. When you're bored of saying that, your audience has barely even heard it. And if you swap, you're straight back to the beginning, again and again and again, and you're never going to get these people in the first place. So you have to be able to stick with the message that you create, and that's why it's so important that you find the who and find the how. Do that properly. Do it properly. That's the fundament. Then you repeat yourself, speaking directly to them in your marketing with the pain, the goal, and the solution. Great. Now, that's step 2. And step 3 is pricing based on transformation. Because even though you hit your dream client, if you price on a low price, you're still going to have the door wide open for anyone that doesn't really have the amount of pain you need to join your program. I'll explain. If you have a transformational program where you help people get a lifestyle change that lasts the rest of their life, or have some crazy goals that they want to achieve, and your price is very low. So here, they're gonna, over time, watch your content. This is time. They're gonna feel more and more pain. So pain, time, they're gonna feel more and more pain over time. And they reach the point where they buy. But when your price is too low, as you can see, they buy when the pain is still not high enough. Like, you control how much pain they have to have, how much they have to relate to you, how much they want the change. This is basically the drive that they have, the reason to change. Now, if you do a low price, you're gonna attract tier 1 clients. They have very little reason to change. They only want a quick program to follow. If you have a higher price, they're gonna require more pain. This is going to be a level 2. They want to have a program, nutritional plan, and support. Okay? And then you're going to have level 3. Level 3. They want you. They want access to you. They don't care about the deliverables. They want the actual transformation and what you can provide them. Like you as a person. And they're willing to pay a lot more. Like 10x more than level 1. It's going to be like $50. This is going to be like $500 plus. So here's where the money is. And also, when you target a specific client with a lot of pain from where you have been in your story, they're going to be able to pay a lot more, and you get to coach the person you love coaching. So I want you to look at the transformation that you actually give to your clients. Like when you've found the who, the how, look at the transformation. Look at where they are now in their journey. They're going to be at a 1 to 3. You want to take them to a 7 to 10. Okay? Your skill level is going to be here, between 7 and 10. And your job is to get them there. Now, how much is this transformation worth directly? So directly, what does it do to their lives? And indirectly, what does it do to the lives to people around them? And then, how much does it cost? So here is like the profit of it for them. And then the cost. How much does it cost? Just the same things, directly and indirectly. Look at these metrics, like look at it, write it down, and decide, okay, how much is this transformation actually worth for them? How much pain are they in? How much is this gonna change for their lives? And then just price yourself where you truly feel like it's worth. And over time, you're gonna increase that. And this is how it works. Say you put it at $500 per month. Okay, that's maybe a bit high too. Most people are not going to dare to do that in the beginning, but $300 per month. And you sell to people that have a high pain threshold. Like you sell to people that are stuck on a very high pain level. Then what's going to happen is that if you close a ton of people, you see that people are closing, they're paying, paid in full, everything, then you increase it to $350. And you see the same thing happening. You can increase it again. You see people come with more price objections. You can reduce it to $350. And don't do this all the time. Like do this on a monthly basis at maximum. But keep like iterating the price until you find a price that truly works for you. And then don't be afraid to increase it later when you have more proof, because when you, again, relate to the client harder, build more pain within the client, more of the people that have a ton of pain see you as the authority and are willing to pay for you as a person, not only the transformation and the deliverables of your program, but you as a person. They're going to be willing to pay more. So if you have a ton of good client transformations of only your dream clients, so every single transformation speaks to one person, and you have a ton of content, again and again, speaking to the pain every single time, and you have a ton of content showing the solution every single time, what's going to happen? People are going to be willing to pay more because you're attracting the person with the amount of pain that it takes to be willing to pay $500. It sounds like we're exploiting the clients with having them pay $500, but that's not true at all. When they pay more, they're going to be more into actually delivering on their from their end into the program, more motivated. It's immediately going to start them at a higher motivation in your program. It's also going to make them use it more. It's going to improve every single thing. But the most important part is that it works as a filter for you to only get in the perfect clients that truly fit your program. So it filters out all the clients that doesn't fit because they don't feel enough pain. They're going to be here somewhere. They don't feel enough pain to actually join the program. Okay? But the people that truly feel enough pain, they're going to be able to pay. You have priced it as something that you feel is worth the transformation that they get, which is probably a crazy transformation, like health-wise, is the most important thing of all, right? And you change the price over time, like based on the data, but that's going to be for another video. You made it this far, so I know you are very serious in growing your online fitness coaching, but knowing all of this and actually implementing it correctly, they're two completely different things. And I've been stuck for months. I could have been stuck for years even if I didn't have my mentors all the way with me. And I've had different mentors all the way, but they have helped me take action a lot quicker, implement the correct things, and move in the right path from the start. Now, as promised, I have a special offer for you for watching through this video. I'm taking on coaches one-on-one right now, where I help you build all of this from day one. This is not the offer, by the way. I'm getting back to that. Towards your first 15K month and further after that. And because you watch this, you'll only pay half now. That's the crazy part. You only pay half of the program now, and the other half is only paid when you hit an increased revenue of 7.5K per month since we started working together. And only during the period we work together, by the way. If you leave after the first period, I'm not going to chase you down on your door to get this. It's only during the first period. So it is very important for me that you succeed. Your win is literally my payday. And it means I don't get fully paid until you have reached your goals. If you want more info on this, book in directly with me on the link just below the video, or send me a DM with DREAM and I'll tell you exactly how it works. And if you want to do this on your own, just make sure you get very clear on who you want to help and how. So who plus how. Get very clear on actually speaking to that in your content. So pain plus solution in your content. And lastly, price for transformation, not just for your deliverables, because that's absolutely not what makes people have good results. Like, I'll end on this because it's very important to understand. The clients that have the best results are both willing to pay more, but they're also getting better results because they paid more. They're a lot more invested into the program. And to be honest, them being invested and you keeping them accountable are the two most important factors to succeeding in anything. Because if they're truly invested into your program, they're going to do what it takes to get into the things to begin with, to get into the routines, to get the first results, to get the motivation from that, to keep going. And if you price it lower, you're going to attract clients that doesn't have that same level of trust in you, in the program, that won't do everything perfectly. You're going to get shit results. And basically, it's going to be an evil circle of getting little pay, working very hard to try and get clients' result. See that clients don't get results. It's going to ruin your confidence. It's going to flow into your sales and marketing, and it's going to keep you there. It's much better to do these things. And I wish I did this sooner. So hope you get to implementing. If you have any questions, of course, just ask me on Instagram. And I hope this was useful.